Growing up in a Latino home, it wasn't always okay for me to be an individual. It was all about helping out my family. When we arrived to Arizona, my dad started his candy company out in the shed. We would work day in and day out making candy. And I used to just hate it because I was like, man, I want to be like all my other friends. I want to have fun. I want to not have to work. I want to not have to worry because I don't know how to speak English. We were a family of undocumented immigrants. And my parents always told us to keep our voice down, to keep our heads down, to not tell people that we were undocumented because it meant danger, because there was things that were not accessible to us. So I felt this feeling, and I dared to believe in that greatness and to believe that there were seeds inside of me that had to bloom. Because sometimes we don't even allow ourselves to think bigger because we are afraid of failure. And you know what's bigger than being afraid of failure? Being afraid of success. Sometimes we are afraid of success because we don't know how to handle it. Because sometimes in our communities, in our families, we haven't really seen what that looks like to its fullest potential. I started to doubt myself sometimes because it was hard. It was really hard being invisible and not being able to go and pursue a higher education. I used to be jealous of my friends. I used to be like, man, if they're slacking off in school and I can't even go to school. But I chose to keep going, showing up for myself every day. And I would go work at these restaurants, and I would still feel that voice deep inside that said, you will bloom one day. It's just not time yet. And I kept daring to believe this every day. I arrive in Atlanta and I go to this restaurant and I get a job right on the spot because why? Because I had learned work ethic from my parents. I had a hustle mentality, and I was not about to let myself fail. So I get this job at this restaurant, and I find somebody who could rent me a room. And I am working. Then I find a job passing out flyers. And I'm passing out flyers in Peachtree Street. I find myself at nighttime after my work shifts, passing out flyers and being mesmerized by this big city that, to me, said it is possible to grow here. It was that feeling inside that said it is possible to bloom here. It is possible to have opportunity here. It is possible. That is what Georgia said to me. And I don't know why. I just had this feeling, and I had to be true to myself. I knew that I was that one in my family that I was going to have to show them the way somehow. Because I knew that for them, it wasn't that they really thought I was crazy, it's that they were afraid. How many times do we let fear hold us back from trying new things, from taking a risk on ourselves? I knew that my family was afraid. They were afraid for me. They were afraid for me getting hurt. They were afraid for them getting hurt. They were afraid to see what was on the other side of taking risks. They had already done it once when they left everything behind to bring us to America to give us a better chance. And maybe that just wasn't a good experience for them. And I had to learn as I got older how to realize that for them, it was not that they really thought I was crazy, they were just afraid. But I wasn't going to be afraid because I had to honor their sacrifices and I had to find my greatness. And I would show them the way. These are the times where we have to atrevernos, to show up as our full selves, to take up space, to be empowered, and to believe that we deserve to live our best lives. And we can only live our best lives by being atrevidos, by showing up, by speaking up, by seizing opportunity, and by tapping deep within ourselves and allowing those seeds of potential to bloom. We're all flowers in here, we're all a garden, and we're beautiful. So show up and be more atrevidos.